Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, astrologer for janspiller.com, and I'm here with your October 2024 overview. We are moving right through eclipse season. We had that lunar eclipse in Pisces back in September. Now we're going to start the month of October with a powerful solar eclipse on October 2nd. This new moon eclipse is going to put an emphasis on endings and beginnings related to partnership. It will be our final eclipse of 2024, and it's a really good time to set goals with romantic partners, business partners, and anyone else we may be collaborating with. Because this eclipse is in the sign of Libra, ruling peace and harmony, it could indicate a turning point towards a peaceful resolution of conflict. I'm hoping this could translate into good news for countries being impacted by war, as well as areas of the world being affected by increases in violence. Now, the whole month of October holds potential for big moves forward. So none of the inner planets are retrograde. Mercury will station retrograde at the end of November, so now is the time to put new plans in motion. Anything we get started now can shape the direction of the new year, since we'll be entering 2025 under multiple retrograde energies. Even if you can only take one small step towards a big goal, you'll want to do that in October, so you can make the most of the retrograde energies ahead by building on what you've started. Now, on October 9th, Jupiter stations retrograde, and that's going to last until February 4th of 2025. As if you've been watching these videos, you know I don't consider the outer planet retrogrades to be as impactful on our daily life as the inner planet retrogrades. However, it's good to know the overarching theme. You can think of it as kind of a climate or a backdrop when these outer planets go retrograde, like Jupiter. You know, they're spending half the year that way. So sometimes we don't even notice it. But when you know what the energy is good for, you can make the most of it. And I always think of Jupiter retrograde cycles as times where we can make our own luck. So it could be more difficult to elicit opportunities from other people between October 9th and February 4th of next year. So you could use those months to take the bull by the horns and see what you can do on your own. Use the time to develop a skill or talent, create something you've been looking to find in the outer world. For example, if you can't find the right job for your skills and interest, maybe it's time to go back to school or research how to market your abilities. There's definitely a DIY energy present with Jupiter retrograde that can push people out of their comfort zone, and help them design their lives in a new way. Now we've got Pluto stationing direct October 11th. That's concluding a cycle that began on May 2nd of this year. While Pluto has been retrograde, there's been an emphasis on our inner power and ability to control our circumstances within our sphere of influence. So once Pluto stations direct, we'll see the effects of our inner changes in the outer world. Here's an example. If we've been working on following through with commitments, the result over the next 5 months may be that we're recognized as reliable by others and opportunities for advancement come our way. We're also more likely to attract powerful people into our lives while Pluto is direct, and we'll be seen as embodying our own power. So there's a lot of positive things about Pluto stationing direct, and it's working its way out of Capricorn. So we've got October and some of November, and that's it. So I think people who are in the late degrees of Capricorn, late degrees of Aries, Libra, or Cancer will be relieved to see Pluto moving on. It's done its work of transformation on those signs, what we call the cardinal signs, and it will now be moving into Aquarius in late November, where it will stay for about 20 years. So we have all that coming up. It's quite an active time as 2024 is closing out. Now, Uranus has been working in a really favorable way with Neptune and Pluto. It helps offer support to let go of the old and embrace the new. Neptune's working with Neptune all month, helping us to imagine better circumstances than our current reality. So, this is an ideal month to move forward with creative projects. And Uranus is also in a very favorable aspect to Pluto all month, encouraging groundbreaking changes and letting go of the past. It's a powerful month for anyone who's been seeking bigger change on a bigger scale. Because a trine is a favorable aspect, the changes that occur are more likely to bring positive energy to the planet and our lives. So it's not a month to sit back and wait for things to happen. Both Uranus and Pluto are planets that demand our attention and willingness to dedicate ourselves to what we want. If we try to resist inevitable changes, we're just going to end up feeling drained. So it's really in our best interest to stop clinging to anything that's offering a false sense of security. Now we've got Mercury in Libra through the 12th of October, promoting fair negotiations and communications. So I would use the first part of the month to establish important connections and discuss matters that involve teamwork or compromise. It's really going to be nice through the 12th of October. I think it'll feel quite harmonious, making it easier to negotiate with others under this astrology. Now, on the 13th, Mercury moves into Scorpio, and that activates our investigative instincts. The second half of October is ideal timing to uncover mystery and get to the bottom of a long-standing issue. We can be successful in our interactions with others as long as we create a safe environment for ourselves and others to speak truthfully. And I'd say under Mercury and Scorpio, even if we become aware of a situation that we don't like, it's going to be better to know what we're dealing with so we can address the problem head on. Passion and physical attraction could grow stronger during this time period, but we'll still need to connect with those who can keep our intellectual interest. We've got a full moon this month on the 17th of October. It's an Aries full moon. That's pretty high energy. Usually the energy gets amplified at a full moon anyway. People feeling perhaps more emotional, more excitable. When it's in the sign of Aries, there could be some anger sprinkled in, people flying off the handle a little bit. Just handle with care during the days around the 17th of October. Um, don't make hasty decisions or come to conclusions. You may want to wait until a few days after this full moon to make a decision, for example. But what it's good for is if you have been putting a lot of effort into something, you could see the results around this time. And especially if you're an Aries person and your sun is around 24 degrees of Aries, that would probably be someone born around the 15th of April, then you definitely can feel a sense of accomplishment, this kind of a personal full moon for you. But you also may be feeling extra emotional. So that's the full moon heads up. As the month begins, Venus is in Scorpio. That's really encouraging us to make close connections and understand the psychological motivations of others. I'd say the first half of October is a particularly powerful time for therapy and mental breakthroughs that help us to understand ourselves and others better. Intimate partnership could be a strong theme, and shared business ventures are scheduled for some growth around this time. That's the first half of October. Now, on the 17th, Venus moves into Sagittarius, where it will remain until November 11th. So during these days, our wild nature is going to be stirred, and we could feel restless for a new adventure. The last half of the month is ideal for travel and getting out in nature. People could be feeling the need for freedom. So even those in an established partnership may wish for some time for themselves. It's going to be best to encourage loved ones to do what makes them happy and support their individual goals and dreams. It looks to be a favorable time for romance, whether you're attached or single, as long as each person feels free to be their true selves. Now we've got Mars in Cancer all month, creating a moody atmosphere. We're going to need to be cautious with our actions and make sure we're not letting our emotions cause us to behave too impulsively. We might be more likely to take things personally under this astrology, which could escalate conflicts. So, our best bet will be to give others some space, consider our own emotional motivations before acting. Our intuition will be strong, but we'll need to determine if it's the right time to go with a gut feeling. There could be other factors that might make it worth taking a cautious approach. I think Mars in Cancer is really good for creative projects and our physical self care. The more we can nurture and sustain ourselves, the more likely we are to keep moving in the right direction, whether we're pursuing our passion or sticking to a wellness plan. Family matters could capture our attention this month, and we'll need to be mindful about our interactions with relatives because everyone is going to be feeling extra sensitive. So that's my roundup for the astrological energies for this month. Don't forget to set new moon intentions at the solar eclipse on October 2nd. It's a powerful time for manifestation. If you need tips on new moon wishing, check out Jan Spiller's book, New Moon Astrology, which is available at janspiller.com in their store. And I hope you have a wonderful month of October. I'll be back with your November report next month.